Hi, this is Trinisha Control. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new, welcome to First Love Yourself, where love, life, and Christ combine. I am so grateful to have you here on this journey to self-discovery and empowerment. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to keep it cool. How to keep your cool. Let's go ahead and say that. But before we get started, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up so you'll never miss out on more uplifting content. So get comfortable because we are about to get into it. Let's go. So, how do you keep your cool? The first thing that I do, because I haven't always been well rounded, I have not always been saved. I know, but listen, so I used to let little things bother me, and I used to get like really irritated, or I would get angry about different things. But we're not going to let those things phase us anymore. It's time for a new version of ourselves, for us to be the best version of ourselves. And in order to do that, the first thing that I do is I know who I am. I know you're probably thinking, you always say you got to know who and whose you are. Yeah, that's not my words. I got that from TG, but it's so true. And I say that because when you allow someone else to tell you who they think that you are, you forget that you don't need to prove anything to anybody else. You forget that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. When you are on this journey to being a better person, you have to remember, okay, I am more precious than rubies. You have to remember that I do love myself. I am worthy. I am grateful and thankful for my life. You have to remember that comparison is the thief of joy. You can't look at what anybody else has. You have to remember what you have. You have to be grateful and thankful for your things. You have to know, you have to be so sure of who you are that regardless of what anyone thinks or says, you'll remember that you are who you are. Someone can say, oh, I hate your hair in this ponytail. If I like it, it's good. Now, it's different if I'm with someone and this guy says, I really love your hair in a ponytail, and I wear my hair natural sometimes. And he might say, the ponytail look just looks so good on you. It brings out your cheekbones. I don't know, whatever he says, right? And this is an imaginary dude. And so I say, oh, okay, regardless of what that man or any person says, whether it's a friend, a boyfriend, a person I'm talking to, or it could be a family member, whoever, right? Regardless of what their opinion is, I have to know who I am and like what it is that I'm wearing, what it is that how I have my hair, my own makeup. And I'm not saying I'm not willing to learn new things from other people, but I have to be like comfortable in my own skin. I have to know, okay, I love these earrings with my hair pulled back because it shows off the earrings more. I love this necklace because it's a reminder for me. If someone says, well, why are you wearing that? It looks like a rosary. I would just be like, okay, I mean, this is my favorite, one of my favorite necklaces. Of course I'm going to wear it, regardless if someone says they like it or not. Of course I'm going to wear my hair in this ponytail. This is like one of my favorite hairstyles, regardless of what someone says. And when you know who you are, when you really are sure of yourself, when you feel good about yourself, regardless of what anyone else's opinion is, it's not going to matter. They're not going to be able to manipulate your mind and make you feel badly because they want you to be somebody that you're not. They're not going to be able to say, oh, I hate brown on you because you're brown skin. Okay, I wore brown today. And it's not up for debate. It's more like you know what you like. You feel confident in what it is that you're wearing. You are comfortable in your own skin. That is the most important thing. And so when someone says, oh, you're unattractive, or someone says, I hate that brown shirt, I'm not going to get angry or be at a really bad temperament because someone else's opinion. Everyone has an opinion. That's not my problem, my duty, or my responsibility. That is just another person. And usually, I'm not saying this to put anyone down, but usually when someone has to say something negative about you, usually that's what they believe about themselves. When they say that you're unattractive, when they don't like the things that you're wearing, and some people might not have style. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm talking about people that actually wear their own style that looks good on them, that actually, accentuates whatever it is they want to accentuate, covers whatever they want to cover, whatever else, right? But usually that person feels bad about their body. So they're talking about you gaining a couple pounds. Can't nobody even tell the couple pounds but that person, and maybe you. But everyone else doesn't really recognize that at all. That person might say, "Oh, you're unattractive." They feel unattractive because maybe you're getting attention that they're not getting. And I don't like to be that person that says that, but it's so true. A lot of people will project their own insecurities on you if you do not know who you are. That's why you have to be sure of who you are and knowing what God's promises says. You have to be sure of feeling confident in the things that you're wearing. And if you feel insecure because someone says that you gained a couple pounds or they don't like your body, if you are comfortable in your own skin and you're healthy, and I'm not saying, one way or the other, but I know for me personally, when I am at my healthiest, I feel the best. It's not about a certain number on a scale, anything like that. It's about me feeling like, okay, I don't have to worry about not taking a picture in this angle because I'm going to look like blah. Any angle that I get in, I'm going to look presentable. The picture, my face might look weird. I might make some weird expression on my face, but other than that, I feel good about it because I constantly take care of my body, or because I'm making sure that I'm at my best. And that does not mean I'm perfect. That means I'm willing to be better. Second thing that you do to keep your cool is you have to be kind. Kindness is everything. Be kind to yourself. I know some people are like, okay, be kind to yourself. Oh, you just sound so corny right now. Listen, I'm going to have to be corny because let me tell you, when you are kind to yourself, it kind of allows other people to see how they should treat you. If you're the type of person who's like, oh, I can't do this, I look disgusting in this, other people are going to think it's okay to say those things to you, and it's not. You have to remember to treat yourself like you would treat somebody that you love. So if you are going to say, oh man, I look amazing, then you can give a compliment to someone else because you are comfortable with yourself, because you love yourself. When you truly love yourself, there are certain things that you will and will not put up with in life. And you have to remember who you are. You have to remember, okay, I love myself. I am worthy. I am a woman of God. I'm patient. I'm kind. I'm understanding. I'm not a person who's keeping records of wrongs. I'm not envious or jealous. I'm the person who is secure in my own skin. I'm secure in being the person that I am. I'm more precious than rubies. You have to remember and remind yourself who you are daily. And I don't mean just daily, because there was this study that I heard. I don't know, I might be off on the numbers, but it's something like 74% of your thoughts throughout the day are all negative. So you have to really be intentional with combating those negative thoughts. You really have to come up with, okay, what is it that I love about myself? Find one thing on yourself every day. This is how I started. I started with one thing that I really loved about myself every single day, or that I liked about myself. It might have started with my eyes. Like, my eyes don't look like everybody else's eyes. They look like my eyes. I mean, except for like family members, because it's a real strong gene. But listen, but listen. So when I am thinking about the things that I do like about myself, the first thing was eyes. Second day, it might have been lips. The third day, it might have been my complexion. And that might have been something that I would have not liked as much, or I wouldn't have been so whatever about when I was getting bullied. But now I'm like, this is like a superpower. Okay, girl, melanin popping. You got to really hype yourself up, because if nobody else is going to believe in you, if nobody else is going to give you a compliment, if nobody else is going to take you on a date, if nobody else is going to acknowledge your worthiness or acknowledge that you are that person, you got to acknowledge it for yourself. You have to know that you're that person, that you're that creation of God's. You have to recognize that, yes, if your skin is not perfect, it doesn't always have to be perfect. You just have to be the best version of yourself. You have to acknowledge when you are glowing, because you got that peace that surpasses all understanding. You are the type of person who has to speak that, like, talk that talk to yourself. You got to be like, you know what? And even when you fail, you got to recognize that there are a lot of people not failing because they're not doing anything with your life. And you actually being intentional, you actually trying, you actually putting forth an effort is going to lead in failure, because that's how you learn from your mistakes to be a better person. And you're doing it. Like, So many other people refuse to take a step forward, and you are doing that. You have to acknowledge that that's an accomplishment. You have to really congratulate, pat yourself on the back. I get so corny. I give myself a round of applause. I know some people are like rolling their eyes right there, but listen, I get corny with it and everything. I make myself laugh. I do the whole thing because if you really truly have to be so kind to yourself that other people know that they can't treat you any other way but kind. You are not a piece of trash. You are not a doorstep, a doormat. You are nothing. You are nothing less, nothing short of God's creation. You are everything God created you to be, and always remember that. I don't ever want you to. Today is the last day that you speak negativity over yourself. Today is the last day that you let cynicism be the thing that perpetuates your brain. You need to really be intentional about speaking life into yourself so that you can speak life into others. I never even knew this was a thing, but I think that's why I'm so kind and I always have a smile because I speak these affirmations over myself all the time. I do it in the morning. Sometimes I do it at lunch. Sometimes I go to the bathroom. This is TMI, but sometimes I go to the bathroom at work, and when I'm washing my hands, I go, I am such and such. I say like 5 I ams every time I go to the bathroom at work. But you got to really be intentional. When I get in the car, I'm playing something inspirational and I'm reminding myself who God said that I am. When I get ready for bed, I tell God about my day, and I remember all of the things that God told me that He said that I am. I'm super intentional about it. And because of that, that's why I treat people well. Because I don't think of myself in those negative ways. I might have a thought that pops up when an ex comes out of nowhere and the adversary will try to be like, see, you weren't good enough for this. And I'm like, thank God I wasn't good enough. No shade on those people. But I'm like, thank God I wasn't good enough for those people, because a man that's grace for me is gonna be able to see me better, because I'm not gonna be blocked by somebody who wasn't grace for my life. Like that's a blessing. And he will really try to give you a fact to make you feel less than, but you have to remember that you are more than anything that you could have ever imagined. You prayed to be this person right now. Always remember that. The third thing is keep your composure. Proverbs 15:18 says, and I wrote a little note on the side over here, so that's why I'm going to look down. Listen, I know the scripture, but I don't know it word for word. So I don't want to give you like little half stuff. I want to make sure I give you the whole 5-course meal. And so it says, Proverbs 15:18 says, a hot tempered man stirs up strife, but he who is slow to anger calms dispute. You have to remember to keep your anger in check. Yes, anger is something that was created by God. All of your temperaments, all of your emotions, all of the things that you do when you emote is things that God knew that you would have, that you would be. He knew that you would feel all the feels. But it is important for you to remember to keep your composure. I was talking to someone the other day who was a little angry about something, and they were really feeling it. They were like, this person, and when they say this, then I'm gonna do this. And I was just like, listen, you have to be cool. Just be cool. Like you can't let someone else take you out of character. You can't let someone else make you be somebody that God didn't say that you are. If someone's raising their voice, you need to make sure that you stay calm, just like this. That's a whole lot of energy to use on somebody who might not even be grace for your life, who isn't even going to be part of your life for that long, or who might just be teaching you a lesson on patience. It's Maturity is about you being able to keep your composure regardless of what's going on around you. That person could yell, they could scream, and I'm not saying you stand there and take it, but I'm saying that if you have to have a conversation with the person and they're upset a little or whatever else, you have to keep a calm voice and make sure that you let it known what your standards and boundaries are. You have to really be for real about your actions and what it is that you want and you don't want in life, because people will only respect strength when they see that in you. And I have to say this because I'm single, but I'm not saying I want to be so strong that I never am soft enough for a man to enter into my life who's grace for me. I want to be able to be vulnerable with the right person. So all of this strength is all good and dandy, but know that I am still a woman. Please don't get that twisted and think that because I can accomplish a bunch of things in my life, that means I don't need a man. I do. I'm saying that I want to be treated the way that God intended for me to be treated. Nothing more, nothing less. And so I definitely don't want this video to be too long because I have to get to bed soon. I got a whole, like, it's a whole thing. But I definitely wanted to hop on here because I learned today the lesson about keeping it cool and emotional intelligence in a sermon that I was listening to. And it really made me think about this healing journey that I was on and what really helped me. And I thought, if this helped me, maybe it can help someone else. So again, definitely give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Keep the conversation going. Give people tips on what it is that keeps you cool. Because these things that work for me, maybe there's one or two more things that work for you in your life. Maybe you journal, maybe you go for a walk, a run, whatever it is to keep your composure, to stay and be cool. So you got to do what you got to do. And I'm so grateful, so thankful for having you be a part of this channel. I really appreciate you tuning in to this live tonight. I know the schedule is a little hectic, but my schedule is all over the place. I'm really trying to pick a specific time, but today I can't be on late. So I was going to do 9 p.m. every night, but I can't do that every night. I would only be able to do that maybe a few days a week or something like that. And then on Sundays it could be at 2. I could stay with 2:15 on Sundays. Mondays, Mondays and Thursdays I could probably do anytime, but actually Mondays and Thursdays I probably could do 5. Wednesdays are really, really crazy for me. I have so many things that I do. I go to work, and as soon as I get off of work, I usually pull out some stuff for tomorrow to get prepared for the week or for the weekend because I plan on cleaning. I clean and reset on Thursdays, and then I spiritually reset on Sundays. So I do that so that Friday when I get off of work, like when I go clock out on Friday, I got Friday afternoon until the rest of the weekend. I don't have to reorganize. I don't have to clean. I don't have to do nothing. And maybe I'll put some tips in here tomorrow about that because it really does help me so I don't feel like my whole weekend's gone. But yes, definitely appreciate it. You guys are so awesome, so amazing. Never forget who you are. Be sure of yourself so that no one can tell you who they think that you are. Good night.